Hi there, my name is Norman and today I'm going to show you how to knit the knit stitch. The knit stitch is the most basic knitting stitch out there and it should be the very first stitch you learn. So let's get started. So before we start knitting, I want to talk about the materials you will need. Obviously you will need a yarn, pick, wool and something for needle sizes 6 to 8. I feel these are the most easiest to knit for beginners. Normal standard sheep wool is probably the best, and don't go for anything fuzzy or a mohair yarn or anything. Just pick something plain simple and rather chunky. And needles, I recommend bamboo needles. Now I'm knitting with these double pointed needles because these suit me the best, but for beginners I actually recommend single pointed needles. Why? Because if you have a stitch on your needle or a couple of stitches on your needle, then the little knob on the one end prevents them from sliding off, and this is something that may or may not happen to beginners, and so pick single pointed needles. You can also go for circular needles like these. That's the same thing. But I feel some beginners are struggling with the cable in between, which obviously keeps the stitches from sliding off, but also the yarn can sort of wrap around the cable, and sometimes that is a bit of a nuisance for beginners. So let's knit these first stitches. I'm not going to show you how to cast on stitches because I did this in the last video. If you don't know how to cast on stitches yet, I'm going to link the video in the description box below. So first we need to wrap the yarn around our left hand. The ball of yarn with the working yarn should be on your left side and the little tail from the cast on the right side. We are not going to use this one. I always hold the yarn like this. I wrap the yarn around my pinky finger 2 times, like this, and then I bring it across the back of my hand, and then I pick up the working needle like this. This method gives me a lot of fine control over the tension. I see a lot of knitters, they wrap the yarn around their index finger like this and skip the pinky finger part. I personally don't like it that way because I lose all this fine control over the yarn tension, but try out both. We're all different, and there is no real right or wrong in knitting. To knit the first stitch, we're gonna need the second needle. The second needle I'm holding like this. So basically the same like I hold my left needle. And now we have to insert the right needle into the first stitch. To do so, bring the cast on stitches to the tip of your needle. And now you have to insert the needle into the first stitch, this one here, from left to right. And then you have to wrap the needle around the working yarn from above, so counterclockwise, and pull it through. You can use your index finger to secure the yarn and pull it through like this. Keep the tension so your stitch doesn't get too loose. Keep the tension, and now you can do something very scary. You can slip this first stitch off your left needle, and here is your very first knitting stitch. So let's do it again. insert the needle from left to right, wrap the needle around the working yarn counterclockwise, pull it through, tighten up a bit, and drop the stitch. One more time. From left to right, wrap the yarn around your needle counterclockwise, pull it through, and drop the stitch. What I actually do is, this is the textbook method of doing it. But what I do is I'm an efficient knitter and I want to knit very fast. And what I do is I don't actually wrap the yarn around. I sort of just pick it up. See, I'm exaggerating now, but you can see this is the knit stitch. And what I'm doing, I'm just grabbing it like this. I'm just grabbing it up. To be able to do so, you need a nice tension on the yarn, otherwise it won't work. You won't be able to grab the yarn. But if you have a nice tension, you can just pull it up like this. See? And then the whole motion looks like this. And this is really, really extremely fast knitting. You're probably not going to be able to knit this fast at the very beginning, but if you practice quite a bit, I'm sure you will get there in no time. I don't know what, just one stitch. Once you reach the end of your row, things should look like this. Well, maybe not like this because I knitted very, very loosely to be able to show you better. But once you reach the end of the row, you can turn the work. And what you have to do is your working yarn will be in the front, but it needs to be in the back. So you need to bring it to the back. And that's very important. Your working yarn always needs to be in the back. And then you can continue knitting, just like that. What I showed you is the continental method, because it's very popular in Germany and Eastern Europe, and it's a very fast and efficient method. But there's also the English or American method, and in the American or English method, the working yarn is on your right. And what you do is you insert the needle and then you throw it around the needle and pull through. Again, you throw it around and pull through. I personally don't like this method because it involves much more motion. You're constantly moving your right hand, and I feel if you knit a lot, this puts a lot of tension on the wrists and your joints, and that's why I prefer the continental method, where I basically hold my hands almost still. Anyway, I really, really hope you liked this video and I was able to show you how to knit the knit stitch. If you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe my channel and see you in the next video. Happy knitting!